From service center visits to an upcoming service center visit to ride quality to FSD and a lot more. This is my 1 year ownership of the Tesla Model Y Juniper. I'm giving you guys my long-term review for the Tesla Model Y Juniper. Okay. And we're going to jump right into this. Now, first, we'll start with one of the best FSD, full self driving. Ridiculous. I never drive, guys. 90% of the time, which let me remind you, they actually have an app that you can actually track specifically that tells you the amount of FSD that you use and drive. So 90% of the time, guys, I am using full self drive, period. In the beginning, when I first got the vehicle, I was very nervous. I was uptight, kind of like, eh, you know, and now pretty much I can fall asleep at the wheel and trust full self drive. Now, obviously, I never have, and technically you can't, but that's how comfortable I am now. Ride quality. Ride quality in a Tesla Model Y Juniper. Guys, it's luxuries, right? The suspension, everything. It is almost like you're literally in a spaceship, and sometimes it does feel like you're floating. Coolest things about Tesla is, I wouldn't say the evolution, but the continuous software updates and the upgrades that it actually makes. So with these over-the-air updates, guys, it does improve the suspension. Software over-the-air updates. Your car always gets updated. It is continuously improving throughout the life cycle of the car. So any Tesla that you have is always going to be updated and upgraded through what we call software over the air updates. And the improvements, guys, is ridiculous. And by the way, they are 100% free. You do not pay for them. I have heard of car companies like Volkswagen and other car companies that will actually charge you for software updates. Yeah, ridiculous. Meanwhile, probably wouldn't even tell you what the improvements necessarily are. My Tesla Model Y accessories. Now, this doesn't really have much to do with the vehicle. This morely has to do with the companies Hansho.com, evbase.com, Tessery.com, and a few others. Also, a few things off Amazon. Now, guys, all my accessories that I've gotten have all held up. They all look beautiful. There's no fading. There's no chips. There's no, miscoloring. There's nothing. Everything from the diffusers, my rear diffusers, everything. The front lip spoiler, it all still looks like exactly when I got it. So that's kind of good to know, definitely, that these companies do have high quality accessories. So shout out to them, and all those accessories are still holding up beautifully. Now, guys, road trips. Man, I took a road trip recently, right? I've gone to Arizona, but most recently I went to California to go to the Tesla diner. And man, oh man, oh man. Look, guys, if you need to understand, man, a Tesla on a road trip is ridiculous. There are superchargers everywhere. My first road trip to Arizona, which was a long time ago, which was in my standard range, I was unsure because it was a brand new experience. I didn't know if there'd be superchargers everywhere. Well, there are superchargers everywhere. There are a few new ones. There's like this, what is it, Lost City, or Oasis. I'm sorry, Tesla Oasis, which is in. I'm not entirely sure. I'll put it up. So yeah, that one looks crazy. The Tesla Diner supercharger charging network looks crazy. They also have one in Barstow, California, which is huge. Is there something about supercharging that's just cool? It's just a different experience. You just love going to a supercharger and just kind of charging your car. I don't know if that's just me. Let me know down in the comments if it's, something, it's a vibe, right? Something about it. But overall, guys, road trips in a Tesla are completely unmatched. It was so awesome conversing with my wife while my car drives us to California is a complete vibe, guys. The superchargers that you stop by, practically, I almost want to say anywhere, it's just usually kind of cool, unless it's like at night and you're in some freaking, you're in the middle of nowhere, which obviously that's never happened to me. But for the most part, supercharging is a vibe. It's awesome. I would say take the extra stops because it's just cool. Now, overall tech, Grok. Guys, the evolution of Grok is crazy, right? They added Grok not too long ago, right? I want to say about 6 months ago, they added Grok to the car, maybe a little less. At first, you couldn't really do nothing. You could just talk to Grok, use it kind of like AI, kind of like Perplexity or ChatGPT. Pretty much it was the same thing. But now,
Hey, how's it going, Grok? See, my hairline seems to be depleted. I need a barber shop fast. Think you could find me one close by?
Hey, going well here. Closest is New Soul's Barber Studio, 1.9 miles away on North Decatur Boulevard in Las Vegas. Want me to navigate there?
Yeah, let's go.
Navigation set to New Soul's Barber Studio, 6 minutes away, arriving around 1:40 p.m.
Wow, thank you, because my hairline is really out of line.
You're welcome. They'll sort that hairline right out.
it can give you routes. You can ask Grok to take you places. And at first, you had to hit the button, which on some Teslas was the scroll wheel, and the newer ones was the microphone icon, right, on your steering wheel. Now you can simply say, "Hey, Grok." So Grok is evolving. Eventually, I assure you that Grok will be able to do anything in the car. If you tell it to turn on the AC, it will be able to do that. If you tell it, "Hey, pull up the Energy app," or whatever, pull up Theater app, it's going to be able to do anything. It's going to have full control in the car eventually. That's literally where we're headed. Service center visits. I did have to go to the service center a few different times. By the way, my month. By the way, my wife got her Tesla about 2 months ago, and she also, in the very beginning, had to go to the service center multiple times. But like I said, I already covered that. Video will be at the end of this video. Now, as far as the upcoming service center visit, guys, well, this is the thing about Tesla, right? You're most likely going to have some very weird issue. So, for me in the beginning, it was a whistling noise, right? Now, it ended up being my lift gate, which they obviously fixed. There was a few other issues. It was some magical weird way as I was picking my car up the first time that they tried to fix the whistle noise and they ended up didn't. I had a coolant leak, which was weird, which they thought was weird as well. They fixed that, took like an hour, not even, took like 30 minutes. But I'm going to speak on the whistle noise because my wife also had a whistle noise, which they did fix. But you're going to probably have some weird stuff with Teslas, period. Like, I heard people hearing water in their, in their center console. Like, it's just weird stuff I'd be hearing, bro. Weird problems that Tesla needs to get it together with. Now, on to my upcoming service center visit. Now, I'm hearing a crackle noise in my passenger door. Literally. Like you literally poured milk in Rice Krispies. And you know that crackle noise you hear in Rice Krispies or like Fruit Loop. I don't think you hear it in Fruit Loops. Rice Krispies. I'm pretty sure all y'all have had Rice Krispies. Okay. So there's a crackle noise. That is probably the best I can describe. It literally sounds like you're pouring milk in Rice Krispies. And it's on my passenger door and it's annoying, right? It only happens sometimes. So I figured, maybe it'll go away. Yeah, no. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated on that. I will obviously do another, not obviously, but I will do another video on that. Crackle noise in my passenger door. That's the upcoming service center visit. PPF on my Tesla. So PPF on my Tesla is holding up very, very well. Obviously, that doesn't really have much to do with the vehicle, but it kind of does, because I would say you definitely want to at least get the full front PPF if you have a Tesla. Tires on a Tesla, tires on an EV. Now, I'm at about 11,000 miles. I don't even need a tire rotation. Now, I don't be out there driving crazy, but I have had my NASCAR moments. Trust and believe. I have had my NASCAR moments. But for the most part, I do not drive like a maniac. So I'm not accelerating 24/7. I'm not trying to race everybody. But guys, my tires have been holding up tremendously well. Maintenance on a Tesla, there is none. I have done nothing. I have put in air in my tires twice, and I have filled up the windshield wiper fluid once. Now, issues. Have I ran into issues? Yeah, here and there, right? The crackling noise I told you guys about with the upcoming service center visit. We'll see if that gets squared away. Glitches here and there, but to be honest with you, man, I haven't ran into really much issues. The only thing is here and there, FSD. They will update FSD, and it will be weird. So, coming to a conclusion, guys, is the Tesla Model Y Juniper still worth it? Beyond yes. 10 out of 10, guys. Highly recommend. Buy one. You will not be disappointed. Is there room for improvement? Oh yeah. Build quality, definitely. Like, we don't need to be paying over $50,000 and our car's whistling at us, right? But overall, guys, I still love the car. I'm still getting into the car as if it was delivery day. That's how I feel. Literally. Love everything. Ride quality. Nothing has diminished, right? Nothing. Everything is as it was. It's still awesome. Still love to drive it. Obviously, that's why I'm here talking to you guys. Tesla, the world's EV. I'm Outros.